of paint the scene of what I expect to see with Arch Manning.
Oh.
I mean, it's going to be something. We're talking about 1,500 credentialed media. 1,500 credentialed media. I remember it last year vividly with Sark and Quinn Ewers. And Jahdae Barron was there looking great.
Yeah.
But there was the unknown of Texas. But Texas was the big story, but this takes a whole different element. But listen to Sark from last night, because my good buddy Rod Babers asked Sark about something that maybe the fans don't know about Arch Manning. We know everything. We think we know.
We think.
Yeah, but here was his answer about what type of person Arch Manning is and what we can expect this year and certainly at SEC Media Days in 3 weeks.
I got to know him really well through the recruiting process, and I always, doesn't matter if it's Arch or Anthony Hill or anybody we recruit, we really try our best to get to know the family, because I think the family is the best indicator of who the young man's going to become, right, in his time here. And if you ever been around Arch's mom, his dad, his brother, his sister, they're awesome people, like down-to-earth, great people. And I thought that gave us a real indicator of, man, this kid's just a normal, down-to-earth kid. I thought what was also really interesting in the recruiting process, nowhere in that time did I get a call from Peyton, did I get a call from Eli. It wasn't about the uncles. It was always about their family. And his grandpa, Archie, is obviously a huge influence on his life. So to me, when he got here, it was never about the name on the back of his jersey. It was always just being about a good guy, being a great teammate, serving his teammates, working his tail off. It was never about, can I be better than my uncles? It's always just, can I be the best player I can be for my teammates? And really, that's who he is. He's a fun-loving, easygoing guy. I think everybody's giving him, joking with him now. He got some street cred.
Now, this is him talking about going up to Ryan Wingo's football camp recently that he held up in St. Louis.
Right, in the Lou.
In the Lou, as they call it, and listen to Sark on those pictures that came out, because Arch became like the Pied Piper of the neighborhood. Sure. This is a funny story.
And he said, and what was funny,
comfortable too.
So I was telling him about the home visit I did at Ryan Wingo's house, and Ryan's got an awesome family. The families tell us a lot. Yeah. But I'm telling you, we went into this home visit, the whole neighborhood was in Wingo's house. And it wasn't the summertime. Now, we're in the winter in East St. Louis, so everybody's in this house, man, and everybody's eating, and Ronnie, his dad's cooking, and we had a blast. I said, you're going to Wingo's? I said, get ready. The whole neighborhood is coming out, man. And so he texted me, he's there, he's like, you weren't kidding, man. His family runs deep. But I think that just is a little bit of a snapshot indicator. This guy, he's just a normal guy. He's a good teammate that his teammates love.
All right, so there you go. The Arch Manning effect. And East St. Louis.
Oh, yeah. Had to drive through there to get to college. Yeah, that is a tough town.
That's where Ryan Wingo is from.
Talking about the real mean streets.
That is
not that accurate to down.
Hey, don't sneeze on North Hill.
I'm not. I'm not sneezing on North Hill.
And where
East St. Louis.
Kidding. That's always a fun joke. But the North Hill was where I grew up, first 8 years. But it's not East St. Louis. I will say that. And that's where Ryan Wingo's from, who likely to be the favorite target of one Arch Manning this year. If everybody stays healthy, we are 66 days away from the Ohio State game, 3 weeks to the SEC Media Days. We will have more with Sark coming up bottom of the hour and Horns at Half Past. Right now, let's dive into the A block and why the Lone Star State is the center of the NBA universe right now. All right, NBA draft, 7 o'clock tonight.
Yes, sir.
And, man, it's certainly right this second, but, man, just think the next 5 years. And I know for a lot of people the NBA is kind of fallen off the radar screen, and that's all right, but I would just argue, wait a second, as an observer, jump on board this, because one of the reasons the NBA has waned is the Spurs dynasty came to an end. The Mavericks were looking like this rising team, and then they traded Luka Doncic. The Rockets have been horrible for a long time. So if you're in the state of Texas, there hasn't been a lot in the last 5 years to get excited about. The Wemby thing was a spike. But, man, if you include Oklahoma City, which is right up the road from Dallas, the 35 down, this is the epicenter of the NBA right now. I mean, this is, with Kevin Durant now to the Rockets, who a lot of people think are now an emerging star, team. This is going to be a really fun next half decade of what Wemby becomes, and they're going to take Ron Harper's son tonight, and we'll talk about that here coming up. But these next 5 years are going to be really, really compelling, not just in the NBA, but in the state of Texas.
Yeah,
and trying to chase it, because now Oklahoma City, just to your north across the Red River, is the bar. That's the team you got to beat. That's the franchise that's doing it right, and you got to try to beat them. I think that is that's something to for sports fans to sink their teeth into here, because this is going to be fun. Well, think about it. When Cooper Flagg is drafted tonight, the number 1 pick, there is no surprise here or suspense. And now with Kyrie Irving, as Jack said in other news, he inks a new 3-year deal. He'll be back, and they think he could be back from his knee injury. Remember, he got hurt in March 3rd. It was his injury. Maybe by March, February, March of next year. Well, they get those 3 together. They have 3 first overall picks that they're built around.
Yeah.
Jack looked it up. The only other team that he could find that has that was Kareem, Worthy, and Magic with the Lakers and Showtime. To have the three guys who were the first pick in the draft, and with Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and Cooper Flagg, those were consensus first picks. There was no doubt that those were the first picks. So those are three pretty special players. Meanwhile, you've got this all-time phenom and unicorn and Wemby, now Durant and Houston. That's pretty fun.
It is pretty fun. Yeah, they're all kind of in different stages, right? Because they traded away Luka for in the Dallas Mavericks. They're kind of starting from the ground up, but they have those guys, like you said. You still have Anthony Davis. Can't forget about that. If he can stay healthy. When he was healthy last year, he was playing really good basketball. Kyrie Irving going to have to wait on a little bit, but you signed him to a 3-year deal. He wants to play basketball for longer.
Jason Kidd's still there because he didn't take the Knicks job.
Well, Houston now has emerged as, if we look at Vegas odds, of course, Oklahoma City is the favorite to win it next year. Number 2 is the Houston Rockets after acquiring, Kevin Durant. And I think they should be. I really am hot on this team, and I think he's a great addition. That's a good fit for him. There's only a few places I think that would make sense. Now, San Antonio is going to take Harper tonight. You mentioned this. It's another really great piece. Still question their shooting in general. They don't really have a sharp shooter.
Well, because the
Spurs
Spurs are still, even with the Harper pick tonight, they're still a couple years away from championship contending.
Right.
Houston wants to be in, the Durant move pushes their accelerator right now. And let's be honest, if Kyrie Irving does come back and goes through a good rehab and is healthy, I mean, that's going to be a hell of a team. I mean, no credit to Nico Harrison, because you cannot predict the lottery ball, y'all.
Not giving him credit.
But to
give that man credit.
To have those two and then add Cooper Flagg to that. And then let's listen to Cooper Flagg. This was great stuff at the NBA pre-draft yesterday. We've told you he's only 18 because he accelerated his high school, kind of like Quinn Ewers did.
He should be graduating
Quinn Ewers
last month.
Or Marie has a twin brother that just graduated high school. So, but he
play for the Maine Black Bears.
Yeah, he accelerated like Bryce Harper did or Quinn Ewers did. And listen to him on why he decided to do that, to be in a position to be the youngest NBA first overall draft pick since LeBron James was drafted out of St. Vincent St. Mary High School back in the early 2000s. Here's Cooper Flagg.
A quote my mom likes to say a lot, if you're the best player in the gym, then you need to find a new gym. So for me, it was about thinking about what I had left to do in high school and how much that would push me to become a better player. So,
all right, so there he is. How about that quote?
Yeah.
Well, props to Mom. Because Mom with the all-time quote and great advice. Once you become the best player in the gym, find a new gym.
Yeah.
Not helping you. If you're dominating, what are you going to do in Maine?
Hard to excel in Maine.
Yeah. I mean, that's his high-level kid. And 1 year at Duke, he became the best player in the gym, right? And so, let's go be I want to be
the easiest task either.
Yeah. Well, and that's pretty cool. And as we told you, his mom, not just his mother he and his twin brother and another brother, she was a 4-year starter for the Maine Black Bears in college. She was a baller.
Yeah.
You know who else's mom was a hooper? The likely Spurs pick.
Harper.
Dylan Harper out of Rutgers, and we'll talk about that coming up. But let me play you a little.
His dad played ball too. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, look, I saw his dad. I mean, let me tell you something. Ron Harper played 15 seasons in the NBA, and Dylan Harper's out of Rutgers. He's from New Jersey. Kind of grew up in the same area growing up as Chris Sims did. That New Jersey area.
Kyrie's from there as well.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving. And so Ron Harper, for y'all's age, Ron Harper was not just a player. Ron Harper was a top 10 pick out of Miami, Ohio. He went to the Cavaliers. He was drafted in the 8th pick of the Cavaliers in the mid-'80s, and he was a stud on those really good Cavaliers teams. Remember those guys that were pretty damn good with Larry Nance and Brad Daugherty and Mark Price, and he was a core guy on those teams.
They wore blue and orange.
Yeah, and probably should have made it NBA Finals except for this guy.
Sellers gets the ball from Hugh Evans. He looks, he gives to Jordan. Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won. Jordan.
Yeah, Michael
Beat him at the
Jordan.
buzzer with a jump shot.
1989. He looks. But remember this with Dylan Harper's dad, Ron, when Michael Jordan suddenly retired to go play minor league baseball after a third championship. Who did they sign? Ron Harper. That was his replacement. And then when he came back from baseball, they formed a monster duo that ended up winning several more championships. And then he went to the Lakers and won more championships with Kobe and Shaq. So Ron Harper's a dude, y'all. Ron Harper can play.
And his son can too.
And his son is really, really good. And that's who the Spurs are taking. He did the 1 year. I say he did, almost like it was prison. But he did the 1 year at Rutgers.
And that season was prison.
But he wanted to stay close to home. He knew it was only a 1 year situation. Listen to Jay Billis talking about the Spurs. There's some that said they need size, they need something else. And Billis is like many who just say, man, just take the best player. The best player after Cooper Flagg is Dylan Harper.
Well, in my view, the Spurs need shooting, and they could use another big guy to go alongside Victor Wembanyama to take a little pressure off of him. Dylan Harper is, in my view, the second best prospect in this draft, and I think he's a clear choice after Cooper Flagg for the Spurs, and I believe that's what's going to happen. Now, if they were to make a trade, whoever were to trade for that, they're taking Dylan Harper. He's God, his length is crazy, and that I don't think you can undervalue how important length and athleticism are in the NBA. But he's a long-arm guard that's so good in pick-and-roll situations and getting into the lane and creating for himself. He's strong, and he really has a great court sense. I happen to feel he's going to have a great NBA career as long as he stays healthy. So for me, the fit isn't as important. Like, I think he'll fit great with what they do. But I think if they were looking to, I'm sitting here like I'm the GM of San Antonio, but if they were going to do something, I wouldn't do it with that. I would take Dylan Harper, and if you want to make a move, you'd do it with somebody else.
Yeah, take him, put him with Wemby, and De'Aaron Fox is there too. They probably still need some shooting, but again, the Spurs are a couple years away. I would also say to the Cooper Flagg thing, where his mom was a star with the Maine Black Bears, Cooper Flagg's mom helped them make a tournament and beat Stanford in a tournament game at Maine.
That's impressive.
Well, Ron's wife and Dylan's mother is Maria. She's originally from the Philippines, but she played college basketball for the University of New Orleans.
Wow.
And she's currently an assistant basketball coach for Don Bosco Prep, where he went to high school. So she's a baller. What's up with all these moms, all these baller moms? I love it. And Cooper Flagg says that his mom was his first one-on-one sparring partner. She used to school him in the driveway.
There you go.
I love this. I think this is awesome. So pretty cool. Let's hear from Dylan Harper. He's going to be the Spurs pick tonight. He has made a visit down to San Antonio. I believe he had a breakfast taco at one point, but here's Dylan Harper. He will be the Spurs call tonight.
I mean, they were great. I mean, great organization, great people all around from top to bottom. I guess they just want to check me out again. I mean, I love them people, love the coaching staff, love the manager, everything about them. So, I mean, they got a really good program. They got a really good thing going on over there.
What was the workout like for you?
I mean, it was great. I mean, it was definitely the workout there was definitely my first NBA workout. So I kind of didn't know what to expect, but they greeted me with open arms and they let me make mistakes and just let me be me. The way to be the best is to play with the best and against the best. So just for me, just playing with the best players all around and just being one of those guys that can fit in, even if you have to sacrifice, still sacrifice. Who I am as a person, when times get tough versus when times is always all-time high. So just being the same guy through thick and thin and just always trying to help wherever I can.
All right, so there's Dylan Harper. He will be the second pick, and Cooper Flagg will be the first pick, and they're both going to play in the Lone Star State, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And again, I haven't seen his dad play. Y'all, his dad was kind of Michael Jordan part, light. I mean, they were the similar body type.
That's why they brought him in when he left.
Yeah,
for the Barons.
And defense, long arms, and now he's got there's good DNA in both these young guys, man. There's no doubt about that. The hoops DNA across the board. So take them and move forward. I would also say a little note. Victor Wembanyama, according to a conversation he had with Kevin Hart on his podcast, he's up to 245 pounds.
That's 30 pounds more than he came in.
Yeah, he came into the league at 215. He's up to 245 and looking like he's adding the weight and the muscle it's going to take.
215 at 7'3" or whatever he is?
7'5".
Oh, God.
And as he emerges, look out. And now you're going to add Dylan Harper to that, De'Aaron Fox. And one other note on that, according to Dan Walke of theathletic.com, Luka Doncic, who no longer plays in the Lone Star State, has trimmed down. He's been on a strict off-season diet, And according to The Athletic, Doncic has been incredibly committed to his conditioning this offseason. He's dropped significant weight, working on a strict diet and cardio training. And pictures have emerged of a very slim, slender Luka Doncic, he's taken about a month and a half off since the season ended to work on his body. And now he's back working out with the Slovenian national team. He's going to play in the Euro basket competition later this summer. But he looks noticeably different. I mean, he might be down 50, 70 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, I think when he got traded to the
shock.
Lakers, when that happened, I thought of this specifically happening, being around a guy like LeBron James. Because I know Kyrie Irving was on his team there in Dallas, but who is he really looking up to? He's already one of the best players, if not top 5 player in the NBA, LeBron James. It's a guy he grew up watching overseas, and that's a guy who spends millions of dollars on his body and his conditioning. I just think having a guy like that sets the tone for him. I mean, listen, he was being a little complacent. He was having a good time in the offseason, hitting some beers and whatever else in the hookah bar. Listen,
he was growing up.
He's grown up. He's 26 years old now. It's his time to take over, and he knows he's the franchise face once LeBron leaves for the Los Angeles Lakers.
100%.
Plain and simple.
And not everybody walks into the NBA with a body like LeBron had. You know what I mean?
No, nobody has a body like that.
That guy was
superhuman.
Ridiculous. And yes, you're right about that. Because he did get to Dallas, and he was immediately the replacement for Dirk. And should he have gotten in shape faster? Those are fair points. But he's a young guy maturing. He was still first. It's hard to listen when you're all NBA 5 times and everybody's telling you need to get in better shape. And, there's some immaturity there. There's no doubt. I still don't think they should have ever considered trading him. And don't give me the Cooper Flag thing, because that's a complete stroke of good fortune or whatever else was going on there with the lottery balls.
Right.
But yes, I'm just, that's what we look for on this show, and me is what I do and have for a long time. I'm looking for interesting. We're looking for compelling.
Well, the state of Texas,
and
like you
quite
said,
honestly, the last half decade, the NBA hasn't been very compelling in the state of Texas.
No.
It's been pretty boring. Outside of the Mavericks run last year. Bull, I think it's about to be really damn compelling. I think to watch Wemby with now Dylan Harper, who, again, I watched his pops. I want to see this guy emerge. What Houston's about to do with their emerging team, who were a 2 seed a year ago. Now they have Kevin Durant, who's still a bucket. I saw him in the gym yesterday. That guy is still a scoring machine at 36 years old. And now, the Mavericks, if they get Kyrie Irving healthy come All-Star break time or just after, you got 3 number 1 overall picks. And Kyrie Irving was playing phenomenal before he got hurt.
And give credit to AD. I mean, he's got injury issues, but when he was playing last year.
Well, and then they have Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford
really
and
good
PJ Washington. That's a tough team. I mean, this is the whole point. And obviously, Oklahoma City is the bar. Everybody's chasing that. But those 3 teams, I mean, Spurs probably a couple of years out still to that, and that's why they didn't get in on the Durant thing. But they're going to be better.
I would say Spurs should shoot. I would expect them to at least make the play-in this year. I mean, that's got to be your bar.
Now you had Dylan Harper, and you get a full offseason with De'Aaron Fox, who you acquired during the season last year. So they get to build chemistry. You might have a 250-pound Victor Wembanyama by the time the season starts. And there's talk the Spurs may be looking to make a move or two here to add other pieces to what Jay Bilas said. They still need more shooting. They need some more size. They were apparently in on the Kristaps Porzingis conversation before he ended up in Atlanta overnight. So, and that's another question to watch tonight on the draft is there are some people wondering if the Celtics, when their new ownership, might go ahead and trade Jaylen Brown.
Are they getting Giannis?
I don't know, because you have no Jason Tatum.
Taking that contract?
Traded Drew Holiday. You've traded Kristaps Porzingis. The new owners are trying to get under the luxury tax. Would you consider trading Jaylen Brown? I don't know. He was the Finals MVP not long ago. That's something to watch. So really compelling conversations going on in the NBA. We will keep an eye on those coming up throughout. You used to coach Jaylen Brown, if memory serves, as one Ime Udoka.
Yes, he did.
Rockets have a lot of assets.
Yes, they do.
I don't know. But just put it out there. Is he going to get traded?
A lot of assets still, yeah.
A lot of assets.
Kevin Durant is there as well.
Yeah.
And note this rule with San Antonio. How many games, Jag maybe can help me, I don't think it was more than 5 that him and De'Aaron Fox, referring to Wembanyama, played because he had the blood clots. So maybe 5 games. No way more than 10.
They wanted to lose last year.
They wanted to lose last year.
This year, I don't think they're a contender, but they want to win.
But they want to at least get in the play-in.
Yeah,
you want some playoff experience.
Yeah, I think that this will be a push for them into the playoffs. Houston wants to win a title. Dallas, if they get healthy, wants to be a championship contender again, which is miraculous based on the month of February they had.